And we are live. So we've got our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram camera, and Periscope. Fantastic. So guys, today, we're going to talk about the 5 fundamental systems, part 1 and 2 in a recap. So if you're just joining us, this is the first time you're seeing this. First off, welcome. What we are covering is if you are to start a business from scratch, or you are looking to reinvent your business and grow it dramatically, at least add 1 0 to it, this is where you want to be over the next couple of days. You want to go in my library and follow what we've been doing. So this is our 4th video now, and in the first one I really explained why the 5 business systems are required to grow a business in 2019. The second video, we went through part number 1, which is how to stand out in a world where there's so much competition, so that your prospects think of you first above and beyond anybody else, and also instead of doing it themselves, right? So I want to make sure that you know that this video is for you. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are self-employed, such as a real estate agent, independent contractor, it really doesn't matter what it is you do. I want to be able to help you attack 2019 with the best and most successful strategies of the year, really, right? Over the next 12 months. So, this being said, we're on my computer screen. I'm going to go ahead and present, and I want to congratulate my own self for being able to actually have the PowerPoint presentation on a Facebook Live yesterday. Woohoo! Because the first time on iPad it didn't work. So anyways, all this being said, I'd like for you guys to please tell me who you are. I want to welcome everybody that is here. And second part, please don't be shy to send me a message here in the box. I know because you're a business person, a lot of people are a little shy. At least say hi to me and then send me a private direct message, and we will get back to you as soon as possible, because we've gotten, if it's not a couple hundred, at least 100 questions. And it's all technical questions such as, okay, well, how do I select an audience in Facebook? Well, we didn't break that down. Right now, I want to give you guys the 10,000 foot view of how to build a solid business. So what are the 5 points to refresh you? So as you see here on the computer screen, we're talking about, and here, I'm going to move my laptop so that I can actually look at you guys a little more while this is kind of in the background. Okay, so the first business system is building authority. So you want to be able to show to the world that you know what you're talking about. Your brand, your logo, your websites, the words that you use online, on mobile, everything. You want it to look professional. That's one part. And I didn't even talk about that on our video when we talked about how to stand out. Because more than ever today, and just me talking to you right now, so I've got 2 phones. All right, sitting on a $100 Osmo Mobile 2 stick, and this one's actually just a cheap tripod. Sorry, Instagram, but just to show you guys, I got my video camera right there, and that's it. So it's very simple for anybody to be able to do this, but my point is, and it doesn't have to be video, but what I'm getting to is you want to be able to educate your prospects as best as possible so that they not only learn, you help them overcome their biggest hurdles, but you stand out from the competition as an authority figure. And we'll do a super quick recap. Number 2 is how to generate good quality business in 2019. The good old days of shoving your message over and over and over in front of your prospects simply does not work anymore. You're going to be ignored. You're going to be counted as spam, even on marketing. It is horrible. You don't want to be in that world. So we went through the proper one and only funnel you should be running in 2019, and I'll do a recap recap again today. Number 3, which we're going to cover tomorrow, is once you have a lead, how to properly convert it to a face-to-face meeting. You know, in 2019, emails are only being opened less than 8% of the time. So what we want to be able to do is, okay, sure, we're going to drip them emails, but more importantly, we're going to use other methods such as text messaging. We're going to use another method such as Facebook messaging. Of course, phone calls. We can do direct mail as well, which I didn't really talk about. I'll keep that aside, but it works extremely well in real estate because if you want a value on your home, I need your address. If I have your address, I can now start mailing you stuff, right? But phone calls, huge, huge, huge. I mean, I am currently opening a sales center so that I can conduct calls for myself and every single one of our clients because I believe that phone to phone is dropping dramatically that now that marketers and entrepreneurs are becoming lazy and using the online tools. So I like to do the opposite of what the masses are doing, right? And then lastly, retargeting. This is very, very important. Go on Amazon right now and click an object, and I guarantee you over the next week, if you don't purchase it, you will start seeing it on Google. You'll start seeing it in your feed on Facebook, on Instagram. They retarget you, so they put a little line of code inside. So there's a little line of code on your website that then puts that line of code in the cookies of your prospects if they went to your website, if they watched your video, if they clicked a button on your ad, right? And what happens is then you can start remarketing them a different message. And that's what we covered yesterday. And we'll talk about a little bit of examples today. And then number 4 is how to be a master in sales. If you're going to conduct one-on-one appointments and you're going to have to sign a contract or sell something, or if you're an entrepreneur selling stuff online like products, you need to be able to understand sales to be able to write good, solid copy that stirs up the emotion, shows social proof, and entices your prospects to take action and open up their wallet, right? So I call it the art of persuasion, professional persuaders, and that's what we're going to talk about on the next, not the next video, but another video later down the road. And then lastly, we've got automations. Now that you're going to grow your business, you need a system for hiring staff. You need the right technology to automate mundane tasks and so on and so forth. And you got the right checklists, you know, just like McDonald's, right? They have 16-year-olds who's actually managing a multi-billion-dollar corporation, right? So let's move on. Oh, I didn't, good thing this is still on my desk. I forgot about my clicker. I just bought it. Still has the new sticker on it. So hi, everybody, if you're joining us. Today we're doing a recap on how to build a solid business in 2019 so that you are able to not only stand out and beat the competition, generate good quality leads, automatically convert them into sales, and become a master salesperson to make your prospects take action. And lastly, we want to be able to, it's working fantastic, and lastly, automate the entire process so that you work no more than 40 hours a week while the system does the rest in the background. So this is a recap that we are doing today. So system number 1, you need to stand out. You need to give good, valuable content. I call it value add branding. People fall in love with you naturally because they see you as an expert and they want your help to be able to do something, right? Whatever your product or service is. So we talked about the hierarchy. The first thing you need to establish as of right now is determine what is your specialty, because if you don't have a specialty, you are a generalist. It can be a specialist within a specific area. It can be a specialist within a specific product. It can be a specialist within specific results. It really doesn't matter how you define it, but I don't want you to be the jack of all trade, you know, wearing multiple hats. People no longer want that. They want systems, they want automations, just with the right human amount of human touch, right? So you want to be a specialist, but more importantly, I want you to start educating your prospects. So once you know what you specialize in, start writing content. I want you to think, if you were to teach your daughter or your son or your niece or your nephew, whoever, you want to build a legacy. Let's go all out here. Is you want to create some kind of manual so that your children, your whoever, your heirs can follow, so they become as successful as you are. But now you're going to turn around and teach the entire world, right? We spoke about, if you're a real estate agent and you specialize in condos, start creating content after content, either videos. Hey folks, today we're going to talk about how to assess the health of an HOA, right? And I'm going to talk about it, or I'm going to write about it, whatever you prefer first. You want to know my strategy? So I'm doing Facebook Live right now, right? And so I was going to say, I'm not going to steal the credit here. This is a strategy that Gary Vee, who is, is very popular on social media because he pumps out so much content. Everybody wants to gravitate towards him, right? So my strategy that I do, so I like to shoot live video like I'm doing right now with you guys, right? And then I will download that content, send it to my video editors. My video editors will then cut up all the blah, 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 because we're creating a course. On live, it's a little different. I'm trying as best as I can to interact with you guys without losing focus here. And then I get my editors to cut up little 30-second bits, 1-minute bits, 2-minute bits of the best parts. While that's happening on the video editor side, the raw footage that we're doing right now is then sent to my writer. And my writers are actually going to take the content that we're talking about and start writing an article. Here are the 7 steps you need to take to build authority so that Google picks it up, so that the world, whoever goes on my website, says, wow, you've got great content, right? So that is my process. But let's say you say, Steve, I don't want to have to start thinking about creating video. I'm so shy on camera. My first thing is to tell you, start practicing, okay? What I do with some of my clients is I say, listen, I want you to take the camera out and I want you to talk to the camera like you would imagine you're trying to teach a lesson to your children, but you're not there to tell them, so you're recording your memoirs, right? And that's how you do it, is I will literally tell my students to actually tell to the camera, hey Jake, hey Janelle, hey Janessa, and Ariel. Sorry, I was going to say don't name my kids. Those are my kids. But today I want to talk to you guys about finding the right home. Dad's been in real estate for a very long time. I've sold 859 homes personally, and my office has sold over 4,300 homes. And guys, what I want you to identify, here are the 5 things you need to look out. So start recording those things, okay? So if you really don't want to publish it, then you send it off to your writers to write an article. If you are somebody that's really good at writing, write it, but I want you to practice talking to the camera, talking to a phone, right? So you see me, it took me a long time to get get used to not looking here, because right now I'm looking at myself, but you are seeing this and you're saying, well, Steve, it's really weird, you're not looking at me. So I got used to staring at the little tiny dot right there, which is you guys, right? And poor Instagram never gets to see my entire face because I do pick to have this camera as my main footage. So I'm very sorry, guys, but blame it on Instagram. That's forcing me to have the vertical phone. Even the lighting is not good on this camera. Oh, there we go. Now it's a lot better. So distraction, and that's what my editors are going to do. They're going to cut that crap that just happened right now. Sorry for you guys to have to see it. So anyways, what I'm getting to here is I do all these videos I share online, and it's creating an audience. And then you're going to start retargeting to this audience, okay? And which is what I'm going to show you in the next slide here, or maybe in another few slides. I can't remember here. But we're going to start retargeting the people that show interest in what you do. And then you keep putting that in front, a new message in front of them. You keep moving them down your funnel that I'm going to show you here that we talked about yesterday. And then with you, right? They're going to buy your product, use your service, use you as a real estate agent, use you as a financial advisor, whatever business you're in. And that's because you are an expert. If I'm going to pick a real estate agent as an example over and above any other realtor there are out there, I want to go with that guy that keeps teaching me new stuff that I never knew existed, right? So that is that right there. So here we said, okay, well, how do I create this content? So I gave you my strategy on this slide here, but let's go back by one. One thing that we didn't talk on live, because every single time I open it up, it seems to last 30 to 40 minutes here. I've got so much great content to give you guys. So what I did is, if you guys want to download the sheets that I use in-house, so when we get a new client that comes in, we assess their business, and more importantly, I assess who their ideal high-profit clients should be. So these are the sheets that we use. So if you want these sheets, just text me. No, it will not come to my cell phone. I'm sorry, guys. This is a phone number that I use that you send me a text, and then it starts an automated artificial intelligence conversation with you based on some rules and that kind of stuff. It's really cool. So try it out for yourself, because it's great technology. And if you want to have these sheets, obviously, send a text. I promise I'm not going to sit at night, and start texting you, okay? So it's just for you to be able to see this. So anyways, once we know who it is that we're actually dealing with, the exercise that I get my creative department to do for my clients is then identify what are the 5 biggest pain points our new clients, so now I'm talking to you, your new clients are going to go through in order to be, or what's holding them back to getting the results that they want, right? So I use the example of a boy that wants to go on a first date to get a first kiss, right? Or how to get your first kiss. Let's call it that. So what are the 5 biggest obstacles holding them back? And then you start identifying it. If your market is real estate and you're talking about first home buyers, what are the 5 biggest challenges that first-time home buyers are faced with in order to purchase their home? So today they're miserable, tomorrow they want a house. What are the things that needs to happen? What are their obstacles so that they can make that dream a reality? So financing, I would definitely put into there. Finding what to look for in a neighborhood, what to look for in a home, what are the moving parts, how to budget for owning a home, and so on and so forth. I'm throwing some ideas here, but my point is that you want to identify those pain points and start teaching about it. So if we go back here, we were talking about, educating. We said, you can start filming it, doing live like I'm doing, or you can simply record it and post it, or you can simply write, or you can just do some I say an earpiece here, but some podcasts as well, right? It can just be talking. So you want to be able to use either voice, visual, and voice obviously, or visual only, which would be text and copy. So you're trying to educate your people as much as you can, because not only will it help them genuinely, it will create huge goodwill on your brand. More importantly, it will create you as an expert authority, okay? So we talked about being able to bring them down, give them every single little secret you have to make them successful. Now, part number 2, business system number 2, how to generate good quality leads. You cannot simply just keep putting your message over and over in front of the same people. Whoops, I went back here. Oh, there you go. I don't know what's going on. I think we're going the wrong way. Okay. I gotta hold it the other way. Something's going wrong here. So anyways, so we talk about, so the funnel, right? And what we did address is marketing is like an 18-year-old boy going on his first date. We all know this 18-year-old boy has one thing in their mind, and I'm not trying to be inappropriate. I've got 4 children under the age of 11 years old, and my 3 youngest are daughters, and they're already full of energy, let's put it anyways, today, and they're not shy. So I hate telling this story, but I want it to resonate and stay in your mind here, that the boy has one objective. Well, in marketing or in business, you also have one objective, and it's gaining profits. So are you going to go ahead and say what your intentions are up front? Just like our poor little 18-year-old boy, there is a process that needs to happen before he even gets a chance to be able to get his desired outcome. We're talking about a kiss here. Well, same thing with marketing. You cannot simply try to throw sales and your offer and your message in front of your prospects. You need to build trust. You need to build rapport. You need to build commonalities, right? You need to follow a specific process. I mentioned everything upside down here, but there is a specific process that we need to follow. Because if you're trying to simply say the same thing over and over and over again, not only will you get ignored, but you're literally competing against 97% of the business. Right? So everybody's trying to hit the bullseye. Now business. People that are actually pursuing actively what they're trying to achieve. So if you are only trying to buy now, buy now, buy now, or, you know, I'm picking up my date for the first time and, hey, you know what my objective is today? Boom, boom, boom. Of course, he's going to get a slap in the face. Door is closed, never talk to again, I hope. So my point is you can't. You need to cast a wider net. And that's one of the biggest problems right now that I see a lot of business owners doing, is they're trying to only get the now business without looking at the big picture. There's a good 10% of 7% of people that are 1 to 2 weeks out. So there's a specific process happening in their mind right now before they go out. So if you can be the individual that helps them speed up that process, you're the one they're going to do business with. Even more importantly, there's 30% of people that are actively thinking about making that move, whether it's purchasing a product or service, and nobody's talking to them. So what are they going through? They're probably going through the educational phase right now. So if you're that person that steps in and educates them and then creates a system to stay along their process every step of the way, like the funnel we're going to see here in a second, they're going to think of you when they want to make their buying decision or purchasing a service or hiring or whatever, right? So we talked about this. This is very important. Now, this guy here is the ultimate funnel. The ultimate funnel is exactly how to make it happen. So we talked about this yesterday, but I got so many questions about it, and I don't want to cover them all right now. I've been individually sending you messages telling you to stand by because I've got so many recordings on step-by-step how to do it, and next week I'm going to show you how to do it a little better. But for now, for you to understand this ultimate funnel, very important, okay? So the first thing is, before even spending a dime in marketing, position yourself properly. Make sure, so it's square or business system number 1 that we've already talked about, right? Make sure you've got the right business websites. You've got a mobile-friendly website, a lead generation website, right? A good logo, something that represents you and your brand, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you stand out, and then make sure that people, when they start looking at you, you actually look like an expert. So you've got a good blog, you've got your video content on your website, whatever it is, okay? And then we can go on to the next step, right? So we can go down to the level of awareness. So awareness is when you take out your wallet. I think my wallet was somewhere here, right? Take out your wallet and you actually open it up, take out your credit card, and start spending money, making sure that you put your message in front of the right people. But we are not saying buying or selling. Give me a call. I'm a real estate agent. You are blending in with everybody else. Or if you're a store owner and you've got a product, buy now. This will help you do this. These are the features. These are this. That's not how it works in 2019. You need to work your way down to a sale, okay? So we pay, but we're not putting a crazy sales message. We're actually getting them to engage with our content. That's what we want to be able to do. And then once they actually, and this is the part where I got the most amount of questions. Once they've engaged with us, so they've read a piece of your content, they've clicked a button because you told them to, and they watched a video for a certain amount of time, right? Anything over 3 seconds or whatever. What I'm getting to here is you can then stop putting messages for brand new cold individuals that have never heard of you and putting more branded messages in front of them, because there's a little line of code that is sitting within their computer, okay? And that is called the pixel, but this is retargeting. And this is where so many people right now in business either are doing retargeting but so horribly wrong, not understanding the true funnel they should be building, but two, a lot of people are just not doing it. They put their message in the same message over and over and over and over and over again, and we start just ignoring it, right? They say your message has to be in front of them 7 times, but in 2019, it's got to be a different message, an educational message, a message that actually benefits them, not you, right? Why should I buy your service? Because I need the money. That's not going to convert anybody. That's not how it works. How will it benefit you, and what are the results you're going to get out of it, so that I can paint a picture in your mind of you actually getting to that point, right? Seeing and feeling it. So anyways, that's going to be talked in business system number 4, which is persuasion. So we're trying to retarget. So let me give you an example here as it comes to real estate. We might as well, this whole series has been example real estate, but it 100% works for any other business, okay? But for real estate, what I do for our clients and for our real estate businesses, what we do is we put a piece of educational content in front of a specific demographic that most likely are my ideal client. So in real estate, we said, hey, if we're building a funnel that's for homeowners and we want to educate them, or we want to get them to gravitate towards us when they're ready to sell. So what we do is we will first attack them on they're a few months out to wanting to sell. So what kind of content could you deliver that will actually wow people to want to read your content and will genuinely help them? So one of the articles you can write, and I described it yesterday, is how to increase your home's value by $50,000 or more with less than $500 out of your pockets. And even if you're in real estate right now, or if you're a homeowner, you're probably thinking, how the heck can you do that? Well, there's so much that is proven that, first off, just the smell in your house can increase or decrease the price of a home. I'm never going to move into a house that has been smoked in, right? I'll never have that. I've never smoked. I'm not interested in it. And the smell gets me nauseous. And if you're a smoker, I'm not trying to insult you here, but that is a reality of what it is. Hey, I'm in Canada. If a house smells like weed or marijuana or pot, I'm not going to want to move into it. Same concept. So what I'm getting to is that could be one right there and doesn't cost nothing. Just stop smoking, aerate, get the paint that covers up the smell, change well, no, I'm talking about money here, but the smell, right? Number 2, you can start talking about renovating your kitchen with just instead of doing the whole kitchen, just paint it and change the knobs. Now, we're not talking luxurious real estate here, right? It depends on the price and the quality and blah, 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 blah. But there's so many different things. Decluttering your house will make it look bigger, will sell faster, hence more money in your pockets. So you write an article on that, or you do a video about it. But that would be the first stage, the awareness stage, right? So we position, that's our content, but we're doing the awareness stage where we identify, okay, everybody that's between, and this is not going to last because Facebook is actually changing those rules right now, but if you're between the age of 25, or I would say probably 30 and 55 years old, I want you to see my message of how to actually increase the value of your home. So who do you think is going to click on that button? Homeowners. And more importantly, probably people that are looking to sell their house. So now we have gotten them on our website, or if it was a video of us talking, they've listened to our video. So now we can go inside of Facebook and say, hey, everybody that has been to my website, that has watched at least 25% of my videos, any video that I have, that has clicked a button, that has sent me an instant messenger, whatever it is, right? People that know. If you hear the word Steve Martel, I'm not saying that you're my best friend, but if you're watching me right now, it's not going to be like, who? No, you've watched a good amount of my video. At least you're somewhat aware of who I am, of my style, and you're debating, or you're just learning, and debating in your mind, you know, is he the real deal? Is he just talking here? Is he on a script? Or does this shit really work, right? So you're debating. But what I'm getting to here is I will then retarget another message a little bit different that first will still help you, but more importantly, will bring you down further in our relationship, which is going to be to subscribe. So subscribe means you are exchanging a piece of information in return for something. So what I'm saying is an email address, a phone number, an instant message, right? Those are all things, or an address. Those are all things that you could exchange. I'm going to give you this piece of information because I think you're kind of real, but I don't trust you yet, for something in return that's really juicy. So if we stick to the real estate example, and we know that, you know, they are about 1 to 2 to 3 months out, we don't have their information yet, but we know, or at least Facebook knows, that they've consumed and engaged with content, so they're getting closer to the bullseye time, which is taking action, right? So if that's the case, we then want them to subscribe. Now, how do you get them to subscribe? You've got to give them something that is so juicy that they would absolutely love to have, that would absolutely help them in their lives, that they will give their content information for it. As an example, I said, hey, if you text me at the number, where did we go? At this phone number, 613-704-2828, and you write, oh, I didn't even mention this, make sure you write the word authority, okay? Because that is the only way to trigger that it is for that specific campaign that you're going to want stuff. But if you're saying, you know what, Steve, your stuff's pretty good, I trust you're not going to start spamming me or sending me Viagra stuff and on text message, or start drunk texting me at night, right? I'll give you my phone number. I trust you enough for that. So there is a subscription, there's an exchange happening. So we are one step further in our relationship, right? So now you do the same thing in your business, an exchange. The issue that people are doing nowadays is they're going straight to the exchange. I don't know you. You don't know me. I'm not interested in exchanging information. I got enough spam already. So we got to slowly work that relationship. And that's why we are really going to be on top of their minds, because we're respecting their inbox, their stuff, their information. So anyways, then we want to go to a commitment. So now I have their email. So now I can start emailing them randomly once in a while, and it's three parts content, 1 part an offer or a pitch. Content, pitch. Very important. Not talking about this right now, but if you're sending out emails, please, it can't just be new listing, new listing, new listing. It can't be sale, sale, sale. It can't be buy, buy, buy. It has to be, you have to earn your right in somebody's mailbox. So now we want them to commit. Commit comes into two sections. It comes in a form of time. So I will come on a webinar, or I will watch this video, or I will invite you into my home for a face-to-face appointment, or money. I will do $1. I will do free plus shipping and handling. I will buy your $1,400 TV. So there is an actual exchange. But at the commitment, what's really important to understand, this is not your core offer. This is not your core program. This is not your core service. Meaning, if you're a real estate agent, I'm not asking you over an email, sign a listing contract. That's not going to work. I'm only saying, hey, let me come into your property. I've dealt with so many buyers in the past, and I know what they secretly say about people's homes. So instead of you assuming you know what's going on and doing a bunch of stuff in your house, why don't you get me to come over and I'll tell you exactly what to do and what not to do to increase your home's value, right? So I am just asking for some time, but I'm not giving the whole thing. Or if you're selling pool supplies and you're trying to do a whole 75 gallons worth of chlorine, or you're trying to sell something at $75, start smaller with just open up your wallet. Typically under 12, 15 bucks is the magic number if you're selling products, or you do get your first one free or a free trial, whatever it is, right? So it's just a commitment. I trust you. I think I trust you, but not too much, not too fast, okay? That's how it is in today's consumer world. So then we want to wow them. Oh my goodness, they trusted me with a little bit of amount of money or a little bit of time. I'm going to wow the crap out of them, right? When I get a listing appointment booked, I make sure we send a big package, a wow package of how to, who we are, what we do, our charities that we have, all those kinds of things to really wow them because nobody else does it. So it's the same thing with your products, same thing with your store, same thing with your service. You need to be able to wow them before the commitment is fully executed. Okay, so you're inviting people to a webinar, send out an email with a workbook, with a lot of information, a resource that is so powerful. Okay, checklists before you move, before you hire a lawyer, whatever it is. So you want to be able to wow them when they're not expecting them. Of course, close. So then you got to have the right presentation, the right scripts, the right etiquettes, so on and so forth. And then you got, once they get the result, you want social proof. Take a picture of them being happy, excited, and then you want to work down to upselling, right? Trying to sell more to expand your profits, and in the end, you want them to become ambassadors. So I wanted to make sure that we go through this recap. It's a lot, but I did tell you this is the fundamentals to building a $10 million business. But if you implement it in your business and your goal is only to make $250,000, this is exactly what you need to do. What may secretly happen is that you actually start making a lot more money with a lot less of your personal time. And that's what I'm trying to show you throughout these videos on live, well, I don't want to say Facebook, but all the channels that I'm putting it on. So all this being said, this is a quick recap. I don't want you to get overwhelmed on the technology. I don't want you to get overwhelmed on the type of audiences. I don't want you to think of how. I don't want you to think of when. I don't want you, all those things. I promise I will get all those pieces of details to you, okay? I just want for you to open up your eyes to this, and then we're going to dig in deep with real live examples. That's the whole goal. So that is about all I wanted to share with you guys. I know that some of you are extremely serious in growing your business. What I would highly suggest you to do is to go on nohypedigital.com, and at the top right hand side, you're going to see a little button that says chat with Steve. I am Steve. I am the CEO of No Hype Digital, and I've accomplished quite a lot of things, and there's not one business that is too much for me to handle. I would love to be able to give you my critique on what it is I would do. I want to take a look at where you are, where you want to go, and I'll build you an actual step-by-step blueprint to how to get there. Get there at the highest profit level possible with the least amount of your personal time. That's the ultimate goal. So go to nohypedigital.com, schedule an appointment, and we'll talk and we'll brainstorm. And if you decide that you want to take that action plan and implement it yourself, fantastic. Meet me on Facebook Live and I will answer your questions. I will help you. If you need somebody to actually hold your hand and want to chat with me all the time, fantastic. We can discuss about that. Or if you want to hire 16 of our staff members to just boom, do it all for you so that you don't waste years on end trying to figure out everything I'm doing, we can chat about that too. So I wish you all a fantastic day. I will be sending out a message with a Q&A that I'm literally not going to talk unless I'm talking about your questions. I'm thinking we're going to do it over the weekend, but I will let you guys know. Stand by for that. So have yourself a wonderful day. Good evening, and I see the sun is just about to go right into the lens because it is close to dinner time. So take care, guys.